Hey, welcome back. This is UIX Part 6. We're going to go over how to create a checkbox using UIX today. This will be similar to the Neos checkbox in Neos UI, but entirely made using UIX, and it uses some UIX components to make that a little bit easier. I'm trying to do a video for each component, or at least each area of UX, and I think that showing a checkbox kind of shows you the sort of methodology that is at play within things like the inspector in terms of checkboxes and stuff like that, and it just kind of helps you sort of understand UX a little bit more, so I'm leaving that to one video. There may be other videos that go over multiple UI elements in one video, but we'll just see how it goes. My goal is to cover all of the standard UIX control elements that we get. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to hop over into Smooth POV, and we'll turn over to the left here. I like doing tutorials over here on the left. We're going to need that UIX template, which I use for all of these videos. Again, you can find that inside my public folder. Let me turn on private UI. I'll show you every time, just in case you forget. It's inside my public folder, UI stuff, UIX, and then templates, and this one on the right here, canvas template. I still don't quite know which way this spawns in. Maybe I should put an image on there that lets me know which way around it is, but that's fine. Let me turn off private UI again, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. So first of all, we're going to actually set up a sort of holder for our checkbox to be in. And that's because I want to make it just look a little bit neat. On our way there, I'll also show you what a checkbox in UX looks like, because luckily most of the checkboxes and inspectors are UIX checkboxes. So with this canvas template open, let's go ahead and select it with our developer tooltip and open inspector on it. And there we go. We've got a full load of checkboxes here. So each of these checkboxes within this inspector with the checks in them, so accept remote touch, physical touch, etc., those are all UIX checkboxes. We're going to make our own now though. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and create a child object, and we're going to call this one checkbox, like this. And I'm going to go ahead and attach a UIX image to it, so UIX graphics image. And I'm going to make this a kind of sort of muted gray. Muted gray. Yeah, muted gray should be fine. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some components to it. Sorry about fussing around the colors. So let's go ahead and add attach component. We're going to need UIX interaction button and UIX interaction checkbox. I just got a message and it scared me. Don't worry about it too much though. What we're now going to do is double check that things are working already, so you can see that they are. When I check the image, the checkbox component state property turns on or off. So you can see here, state is turning on or off. So that's good. But what we need to do now is create some stuff for the target state property and check visual property here. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I do here to make the check visual, and the check visual, by the way, is just what the checkbox looks like. So in this case, it's that check mark. I create another object underneath checkbox, and I'm going to call this one, instead of checkbox child, we're going to call it visual. And then I'm going to go ahead and attach a UIX graphics image to it, and then attach assets sprite provider to it. And then we can put an image in here that represents our checkbox. I'm going to go ahead and go to another one of my public folders. Let me turn on private UI again. We'll go back to UIX, actually UI stuff. We'll go inside icons and we'll go into shapes. And then inside shapes, we'll see that there's a checkbox icon in here. Like I said before, these are all licensed CC0, so knock yourself out with them. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn this one in, turn off private UI, grab it, turn to the left, chuck it in sprite provider, and then drop it in the top here. Now go back up to the checkbox here and pull open a second inspector for the visual. So I'm going to go ahead and grab visual, hit trigger. There we go. We've got visual open to the left. Scroll down to checkbox here and you'll see where it says check visual. I'm going to go ahead and chuck in the active property for visual there. And then for target state, you can leave that if you would like, but you can also specify that as any form of variable, be it dynamic or a value field that you want to turn the value to true or false on. To just illustrate things, I'm going to go ahead and attach component data value field bool. I'm going to go ahead and grab value from the value field and chuck it into target state. We can now close everything off, move that to one side, and then when we check the checkbox, you'll see that we've now got that check mark in there. I didn't play with the colors that much, so if you want to make your own checkbox, go ahead and play with the colors, make it look pretty. But you'll see here that when I check it, the check mark appears, and when I uncheck it, the check mark disappears. If I bring back over the inspector here, you'll see that the state currently is unchecked. If I check it, you'll see that the state here is Not updating anymore, that's right, because if target state is specified, it won't update state anymore, but if target state is not specified, it will go ahead and it will update state. So if I go ahead and clear this, you'll see state is now updating, but if I go ahead and set it back to this value field here, you'll see that it gets swapped over here. So you'll see here this value field is updating. Additionally, if the value gets changed by any other means, let's say I had some logics or another component, wrote a true value to this value, you'll see it goes ahead and it updates that checkbox. So there you go, that's a checkbox for you. You can see them, like I said, basically in all sorts of UX. All these checkboxes are checkboxes. You can use them for on switches. For example, here, if I were to go ahead and go into this visual and I were to make this sort of make this a green color, and then instead of using that check mark, here's a circle image from that same folder. I could then use it as a sort of light on, light off indicator. I could even go ahead, and if I really, really, really wanted to, I could go ahead and make a checkbox that functions as a bag of shredded cheese. So here's my usual bag of shredded cheese. So I can go ahead and chuck that into the visual here, and then when I check this checkbox on, we get a bright green bag of shredded cheese on there. So there you go, that's checkboxes. I hope that's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Bye-bye.